Okay, so it's pretty much across the board that you kind of need a business calendar to be where you're at with this business, right? I kind of feel that way. So if you don't mind, I'm actually going to have Breezy start. Do you mind sharing with us your best practices when it comes to your business calendar?
Yes. So I was kind of the one who like piped up and said I needed this call. And I feel like I've had systems and I've done different things over the years. Like I'm going on 4 years as a coach. But lately I feel like I've been like my Success Club, I haven't been hitting it till the end of the month. So that's why I like wanted this call, because I want to know, like, I'm curious, like what you guys are doing to like lock it in early, I guess, and like how your business calendar is around that and how you put your business first. So something that I have been doing is like, I always plan out my schedule, you know, like the last week of the month, I'll plan it out for the next month. I'll get my team calendar. I'll get my you know, like when we're doing our trainings, we do like an Emerald group every week, like a push to Emerald, or not every week, every month. We have like a what is coaching every month. I mean, so I get my coach basics at the beginning of the month. I get everything planned out, but I feel, I wonder like with my challenge group, like maybe this is a question more than a best practice, but like, I have been starting my challenge groups like the first week of the month. And I'm wondering maybe if that's my problem. You know what I mean? Like my challenge group start date is, maybe it needs to be in the middle of the month, or maybe I do an ongoing challenge group. I don't know. But I mean, I plan out my month, and that works well, and that's good. And I stick to it, and I give that to my team. But I mean, it works, but I'm still not hitting Success Club early. Like maybe my focus needs to be on my business first. I don't know. So there you go.
I love that you brought that up. Melissa's shaking her head. So Melissa, will you share, please?
Yeah, so I'm going to agree and say that for me, what I do is I always create a team calendar. And I have, let me just turn this around. It's not pretty because Jenna came in here and screwed up my whiteboard, but I have this that sits right in my office, right in front of me. It's just a whiteboard calendar. And then I put that on just a little graphic. I am not a pick monkey person. I don't spend a ton of time doing graphics, things like that. I just go into Word Swag or Rona Design or Camera Plus, whatever, and I turn that into a calendar. And what I do, it's super cheesy, you guys. I take a screenshot of my calendar that's on my phone. And then I go in and I edit and I put exactly what I have. Like every first Monday of the month, my team knows that we're going to have a new Coach Basic, and I open that up to my entire downline. But I set my Success Club goal to be at SC5 by the 5th of the month, no matter what. And sometimes, there's some times like this month, I think I hit it by the 8th. But I make sure that is my first thing. And then my challenge group. Breezy, when did you say you start yours?
I've been doing like preseason the last week of the month, and then the first week of the month is like my start day. So it's the end of the month.
So I normally try to do that the first Monday of every single month as well. And then I have like my sneak peek the last week of the month. So that way it's prepping for that new group that's going to come in. And so the first week is normally like kind of like your practice date. And then the hard stop for enrollment for that is the second Monday of the month.
So maybe that's what I need to do, is like shift it a week almost.
It actually works for me, because then my next goal to be at Success Club is by the 10th, or Success Club 10 is by the 10th.
Right.
And I'll be honest, this month I sent the other day and I was like, okay, I'm struggling. I don't know what's going on with me. This is totally not like me, but I just feel like I'm working my tail off and it's not happening. And I just took Success Club 8 this morning. And there's lots of irons on the fire, so this is totally not like me, but that's my goal every single month. I don't change it. I may have to, and I always tell my team too, these are my goals. You don't have to do everything the same way that I do it, but I would encourage you to set dates around your Success Club, because if you're waiting until the 24th and you're like, oh crap, I only have 5 days to hit Success Club, like I want to create that urgency with my team. And that's something, I forget who I took it from. But like my coach, Mindy Horde, she always led by example. And so that's the one thing that I always want to be doing with my team is just, I put that out there. They know what's going on. They can add their people to it. So that way they always know something's there. And then the dates around Success Club. But I always make sure that I hit Success Club within that first week, because I don't want to be stressed out on the 24th worrying about, crap, how am I going to pull this off? That's just, I don't know. It's just me.
No, that's perfect for sure. And I want to hear what Melissa Brewer and then Whitney Webb, what do you ladies do?
Okay, sorry, I was muted. I do the same type of a thing, and I actually have my calendar on my computer just as my background, so I'm checking it all the time. But I kind of have a week dedicated to inviting to something. So the first week of the month, I'm sprinkling my challenge group posts or what our challenge group is in my posts and talking about, you know, the value of it and what it brings to the table for me as a person and for my challengers. So sharing transformations on Tuesdays and talking about those different things throughout the first week. My challenge groups every single month will start on like the first Monday of the month. So for March, it started on the 6th. For April, it was like the 5th, I think. I don't know. Whatever that date was. And then that's kind of like our prep week. So we prep that first week, and I'm still inviting that entire first week. And then on the 13th is kind of like the hard stop where I am not really talking about the challenge group anymore. And during prep week, I'm inviting people to a sneak peek. So in that first week, I'm really building my challengers. And then in the second week of the month, I'm really building coaches. So I'm not just focused on challengers. I'm also focused on getting new coaches into my team. And usually by the second week, I've hit SC10 or like for this month, I think it was like SC16 by the first week, just because I had so many more people join as coaches in that second week. Then in the third week, I do an invite to the free group. So anyone who is talking to me about challenge groups or coaching, I invite them to my free group. They get a taste of what our challenge groups look like and feel like and all that fun stuff. And then in the fourth week, I do kind of like a webinar type deal where I talk about the value of either coaching or challenge groups, and I kind of share how it's changed my life in some way, shape, or form. Right now I'm pregnant, so I've been incorporating that into my webinars, like how I've stayed fit through pregnancy and how I lost the baby weight with my second baby and how I know that I'm going to be able to do that with this baby as well. That also brings in people to the challenge groups without having to invite. They kind of just see the value and then join that way. And so it's like every single week I'm doing something and some kind of inviting, but it's not super specific to like a challenge group or coaching. It really leaves the door open for people to see the value and to join from there. And that is something I've started doing just since February, and it has like changed everything for me. I got the idea from Josh Coates. I think you guys probably know who he is. And my success partner and I have kind of been experimenting with this, and it's like been amazing. It's been so good. So that might be an idea, just having a different group every single week.
What about you, Whit? Thank you, Melissa. Mm-hmm. Oh, let me unmute you.
Oh, I got unmuted. I hit the wrong button. Whoa. All right. So I have everything on a calendar back there. It's kind of hidden by my picture, but it's just pen and paper, those huge ones that you get at Staples. And they're awesome because the squares are really big. And then I use different colored pens. So my personal goal pen is blue. And I have to hit Success Club 10 non-negotiable by the 10th. And this month I wanted to hit it by the 6th because I had girls that were pushing for the photo op. So I wanted to make sure I was at 10 already so I could help them and make sure they had that locked in by the 14th. And so my personal goals are on there. Like I write everything on that dang calendar. I mean, like my success club, how many coaches I want, where I want to be with my coaches that are pushing for things. So it's like my personal goals for them. And then I write down their goals for them. So like if somebody's pushing for diamond, or if I have people that need to be at emerald, that's all in red. And those dates that they have decided are down. And then I have separate dates for them. Some of them match, and some of them I think can be earlier, because then I know who I really want to work with and be like, okay, where are you at? You need to up your invites because I know you can do this. And then if they don't hit it by my goal, usually we can get it by their goal or know where we need to kind of refocus. And then like all of our Zooms are on there in green, and PD, like when I need to start this PD, when I need to finish this PD, and then anything I'm doing for like other Zooms for my coaches, for their teams, or I do a lot of guest speaking on other teams about vision. And so I have those, I usually do like 3 to 4 of those a month. So I have those down in orange. So I remember, but the calendar scheduling thing for me is golden. Oh, and then I also have since we're talking about challenge groups, my challenge groups start the second Monday of the month. But the next week, so like usually 7 days after, it's usually a Monday or Tuesday night, I kind of get the vibe for who's looking, and who I'm working with and who I want to kind of target. And then I open it back up. So I'm like, things are, cruising. I share like victories that have been happening, and, maybe I'll do a Women Crush Wednesday and shout somebody out that's lost a bunch of weight. I've got people losing crazy amounts of weight right now in my bikini boot camp. So I share that, and I talk about like, this is what we've got going on. Maybe I'll incorporate like the on-demand pack since we've got it on special right now. And I'll usually do like a transformation post with it, if either me or somebody else. And I invite it back up, and I say, I'm only opening 5 spots. They're only open up for 24 hours. You'll get a free gift. And it's usually a week of Blue Apron meals, because I always have so many to give away. So, and people love that. They're like, free food, yeah. And so that helps me kind of mainly just plant seeds, because hopefully I've already hit Success Club 10, but it just opens it up and plants seeds for the rest. And then I strictly work the last week of the month to do our 3-day glance group, and my whole team runs that. And we usually do a similar ad or post for that. And that I just invite to constantly all the time. And that's when I'm sending out my invites every day. That's what I'm inviting to, is that group. And that's usually the last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of the month. It's 3 days. It's basic. It's 2 posts a day. And then I close that up, and then we know we're going to have the next one. So that's what I do. And the calendar's everything. It's all on there.
No, I love it. So what questions kind of sparked from that? Do you ladies have any questions for each other? And I know I have Melissa, Andy, and then Deidre and Diana that I don't see your beautiful faces. So if you want to chime in, please do, or forever hold your peace, because I know you're probably with kiddos. But what questions do you have for each other? And then I'll throw some in there too. None. Just none. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, Breezy, go.
For Melissa Brewer. So your outline, I'm curious how you got that from Josh Coates. Like, have you done his trainings, or like has a friend done a training, or I'm just curious? Because I love it.
I didn't realize I was muted. I am in his mastermind group.
Oh, cool.
So we've talked about, and it wasn't really, I just talked with him about like a schedule and what would work, and
cool.
He kind of came up with it there.
Awesome. I love it because I'm a procrastinator. And so like for me, that's like the 2 most important things at the beginning of the month. Like you fill your challenge group, you recruit to coaching, and then you do your free group. And I've been flip-flopping that. And so I think I've been procrastinating my networking. I've been networking at the front end of the month instead of inviting at the front end of the month. So I love that.
Yeah. And it actually, one thing too, in addition to doing those 2 things at the beginning, so like my challenge group starts right then. And then I also have a new coach. We call it New Coach University. And this is something new that my team has kind of started doing as well. and we run it through the My Challenge Tracker app. So we have our team has put together trainings, which I'm sure you guys all have as well. We put together trainings, and so we will have them do check-ins every single day. So we'll have like 4 things they check in with, like, did you do your vital behaviors? Have you done your power hour? What is something you learned from the training today? And then like something fun, like tell us something about yourself. And that way, all of our new coaches are in one place. They're all checking into the Challenge Tracker app. They're learning how to use it, so they're not overwhelmed with all these different groups. They're not checking into a challenge group and to a new coach group and to, it's all in one place. Once they graduate, it's only 2 weeks long. So they just basically get through our first initial training, like how to access your website, how, all those basic things that coaches feel really overwhelmed with at first. Once they get through that, I move them into my actual challenge group, and then they go into a message thread. So then they're able to talk and feel a little bit more comfortable. They've got these habits of doing their power hour, of checking into the tracker app, lots of these little things. And it kind of fits well with the calendar because it's every 2 weeks that these are run. And sometimes you guys know that when we put people into like a coach sneak peek or Q&A or whatever it might be, it takes a couple of weeks for them to commit or to talk through some of the questions they have. So some people jump in right away and there's a training for them to go into. Others, it will take a couple weeks and they can jump into the next one. There's always 2 every month. And it's easy in the tracker because you just copy and you just use the posts from the last one. So it's not like it takes time away from me. I just schedule those posts. It's really easy.
So I think you just opened up a lot of questions because there's a lot of coaches that don't use the My Challenge Tracker app for that. So let's just make sure, is there any questions that need to be answered on that? Because if you use that, I promise you will learn to love it, but you have to definitely schedule those posts, do a call to action, and then that will obviously get them in and comfortable with it. But do you ladies have any questions on that for Melissa B? I guess not. Okay, so if you have any questions on that, clearly she is a guru on it, and I love that you are now focusing on that. Kind of like what Melissa was saying, but I have a great coach, Joy Bowen, who does that same kind of thing where she, makes sure that she teaches her coaches to go from the 15th of the month to the 15th of the month, so there's never this end of month, and there's never that first of month lull, and so she's really working in between those 2 months, so basically, she's summarizing, obviously, SC5 or SC6, whatever you want to call it now, by the 5th, and then SC10 by the 10th, and so on and so forth. But she's allowing her business to end mid-month, so then she's obviously working towards that next month, which I think is genius. It sounds like, Melissa, you're very, it's very similar to that. But if you find a way for that, just remember business by design, meaning, I have a froggy in my throat. Meaning, teach them how to make sure that they're not, the anxiety that comes by end of month, the anxiety that comes on the first of the month, a way to make sure that they are consistently learning, growing, staying consistent with it, where it's not this big lull in different seasons of it. It looks like Andy appeared, so I know she wants to speak because she's not muted either. Go.
I just wanted to try to add some value, that's all. And a lot of what I do is very similar to what some of you girls have said, so thank you. I do a free group either the very last Monday or the first Monday of the month, depending on how the dates fall, if you will. And then that way, the people that I invite to that will be some of the first people I'll invite to my challenge group, which always starts as a prep week, the second Monday of every month. So my goal is always to be Success Club 10 by the 10th. And that gives me enough time, most of the time, to hit that goal, fill the challenge group. And one thing I started doing this year, and I'm kind of speaking for Shayna as well, she couldn't be on today, but we're success partners and we run all of our groups together, is trying to be more professional and not letting people in the challenge group once we start running it. So about Wednesday of prep week, if you don't have your challenge pack on order ready to go, then as I'm inviting people, if they say yes or they kind of trickle in, I always let them know, okay, great, my next challenge group will start, and I'll give them the start of the prep week that's actually the following month. And I found that my challengers seem to be getting better results, because I was kind of doing the whole only running one a month, because I tried doing 2 a month and I was getting too overwhelmed with that, and I felt like I wasn't giving enough attention to each individual challenger being pulled in 2 different directions. So now I do 1 a month, and if, you know, I do a lot of follow-ups, and I let them know the hard, fast date, and if they don't order by then or whatever, then I put them on my follow-up list. Or if they order late, I just let them know, great, I want you to get the best results possible, so I'm going to have you start in my next group. And in the meantime, I have an ongoing group that's been open since I started coaching, and that is for my graduates and for people who are waiting to start. And I let them know that I want you to feel supported, I want you to get excited, and I want you to kind of see what a check-in looks like every day. And because on-demand is so amazing, I encourage them to dabble in on-demand, the challenge du jour, try things out. Once the challenge group starts, we've already had the conversation about what program they're going to do start to finish and all of that. But I try to encourage them to use on-demand, get familiar with it. I tell them, start drinking your Shakeology right away. So it does require a little bit more attention behind the scenes with those challengers to make sure that they aren't just having the Shakeology sit on the counter and then, you know, 3 weeks have gone by before they're actually starting. But I do feel like it's helpful. And what that does is having the free group in the beginning of the month kind of fills my funnel towards that challenge group. So once that challenge group hard and fast date comes where I'm not going to add anybody else to it, I switch my attention to inviting to coaching. So somewhere in the 3rd week of the month, so like I said, my challenge group starts the 3rd Monday, officially starts the 3rd Monday of every month with the prep week, the Monday prior. So sometime during the 1st week, which is actually this week, we'll do some sort of coaching, whether it's a sneak peek. This month, we're doing a coach happy hour Thursday night. Trying it out. We haven't done this before. So my focus right now, since my challenge group hard and fast date came and went, has been inviting to coaching, which I go back and forth with because all of my really awesome coaches have come from challenge groups. So of course I start there, but I'm trying to find different ways to word inviting people who haven't come in through the products. I prefer obviously to recruit through my challenge groups, but I also feel like at this point in my business, I need to be getting the word out more about coaching. And I just read Get Over Your Damn Self, and a lot of it was very helpful. And she definitely says lead with the business and default to the products, which I kind of have mixed feelings about it, but I'm trying some of what she said and leaving the stuff that doesn't really align with my values. So we always do that week 3, and then week 4, it gives us time to already be inviting to our next challenge group because we're only 3 weeks out at that point. So I'm very strategic with inviting constantly throughout the month. And I feel like with this way of inviting, I always have something to invite to that doesn't seem too far out. And obviously my funnel is filled up with new invites, people I haven't invited at all. I try to do 5 of those a day, whether it's 5 to coaching or 5 to the challenge group or 5 to the free group. And on top of that, I don't count towards my invites, but I'm inviting the people in my challenge groups to the coach sneak peek. I'm inviting people from my free group to the next challenge group, and so on and so forth. And it's been helping me pretty consistently hit Success Club by the middle of the month. My goal is always by the 10th, 10 by the 10th. And I'm typically right around there at 10. And then I've been averaging, I don't know, about 16 points a month or so. So it feels like it's working. So that's kind of what's been, it helps me a lot to have that marketing plan. And a lot of what we took was actually from Melanie Mitro. We've tried different ways of doing that. We also started doing events. So we'll open an event. We create an entire invite template that we share with our teams, because what I found when Court of Force launched, sorry, I'm being so long-winded, I'll wrap it up, was that if I'm inviting somebody and I'm inviting them to an event, which is basically just information, then I can post in the event, and every time they're getting these notifications that I'm talking about this challenge group that I invited them to. And I feel like it really helped to bridge that gap of getting the information out about what it is I do. So we create a banner photo, we create an invite template and the post, and we always make it towards whatever the theme is for the challenge group. We share it with our team. So we're constantly trying to reiterate to our team what our marketing plan is, why the timing is that it is, and so on. I hope that was helpful.
That was beyond helpful. Thank you for chiming in. I love it. And I love that what you said about the actual book. In our business, it's very different as far as when it comes to network marketing. You have to lead with the product first here and I love this. And actually, I wish I had this call on here. Oh, I do. Amy Silverman. So she actually talked to our coaches that are running for elite this year that are like a 1 to a 4-star. But she said if you work hard at your fitness, you will work hard at your business. So if you're not a part of the product, that's the one thing I would shift with that book, but I love that you're taking pieces from it. But Andy, like, I really feel like you just hit it on the head, and I feel like all of you are very similar, but you also gave great little nuggets when it comes to that. So we have about 5 minutes left. Is there anything else that you ladies want to talk about that before I go into Punta Cana? And I'm assuming Melissa B is not going. Baby, okay, you and I, girl, are back here in Utah. But what about you ladies? Is there anything else that you want to go over with that? Was it helpful, first of all? Like, kind of seeing that vision. I think the biggest thing, Breezy, if it's not working, switch it up. Like, if it's definitely not, try something new for 30, 60 days and see if that will chime for you. But it sounds like if you just tweak those 1 or 2 little things, you're going to find success with it. And then you'll be able to duplicate it with your coaches. So I love that. And then everybody else is going to Punta Cana, correct? Okay. Awesome. So I just want to remind you, ladies, you should really make, depending on if you're going on the first wave or the second wave, make sure that you're making Saturday or whenever you're leaving, the day before, that's the last day of your month. So what can you do to really push and drive business? Because if you think about it, if they are successful, your coaches, and they hit Success Club, from there, just remind them to keep those conversations going while you're gone. Meaning this will not only, finalize an amazing April, but it will also make their May incredible. But they have to make sure that they're keeping those conversations going. And anytime that we have that opportunity to have just like 5 or 6 days left in a month, when really there's a lot more than that, it is always successful. So you need to make sure that you're setting your coaches up for success. You need to delegate like crazy, allow them to run a lot of things, but then also there is Wi-Fi obviously there, and they've double tested it. But they did say, Melanie is doing several sneak peeks while she's out there. I mean, whatever you can do to keep business flowing, but yet you're not, you need to make sure your team is doing the majority of it. But what can you do to show, like, hey, I'm still working and I'm here and I can do the sneak peek from here or whatever it may be. Do you ladies feel like you have a good game plan?
Yeah, so I was going to share what I did is 2 days ago, I made a poll in my team page and I just said, I'm really looking to empower you guys. And this is our big team page. And I said, I'm looking for some emerging leaders who really want to step in. And then I just did Monday post, Tuesday post, Thursday. And so that way, and I said, you'll probably still see posts from me because it's going to be business as usual mixed with this. I use this trip as a business building opportunity, not just, it is a vacation with my husband, but I build during this time. So that way it wasn't like me just going to the same people who always step up. This was people being able to click and say, I'll take Monday. Oh, I want Monday too. I'll do the second post. One girl even asked me, what are your expectations around posting? Because you post more than anyone I've ever seen in my life. And she's a new coach on our team. So I was able just to respond to her and say, there's no expectations of it. You do what you can, and you don't have to do anything the way that I do. Whatever you feel like you can add to the team and add value and create engagement, that's what you do. And then I have a team-wide sneak peek going on right now leading up to next week. So, and then I always open up like something where it just says, I'm going to be posting a lot. If you don't want to be super jealous of my amazing vacation, I would, and just make it kind of fun that way. But like preparing people that this is business and pleasure. So they're going to see a mixture of both. Like I always make sure my team knows like, hey, on this day, I look at the agenda and say this day, it's going to be the top 10 panel. Tune in. I'll come live into the team page. There's going to be announcements from Carl. I'll probably meet with Chris, our new trainer, things like that. So that's my game plan.
Perfect. So if you haven't thought of anything, do something. I think that's the biggest thing at this point. Make sure you have a game plan. Really learn to delegate. I love, Melissa, that you did say you just allowed her to decide what she wanted to post and don't do it so cookie cutter. Allow it to think outside the box. So I love that. I'm going to mute you, girlfriend. But okay, so ladies, I think the biggest thing at this point is just know where you're going, what you're doing, have a game plan, be organized. And it's the same thing with your marketing calendar. If you have an opportunity, please post it into our group. A picture of yours. You can literally just take a picture with your phone and upload it to our group so you can kind of show what exactly you do. I know that there's a lot of ladies that were on this, but I know that they will want to chime in and tell you what they are doing as well that's making them successful. So I appreciate all of you taking the opportunity and the time out today. I will plug you right now. If you haven't tried the new Cafe Latte Vegan, you gotta flip and try it. I am hooked. I do not drink coffee. I do not need caffeine, and I love it. Holy moly, the vanilla is also incredible. It tastes amazing. So if you haven't had an opportunity to try those, please, please, please do yourself a great deed and order a bag of each. You will not be disappointed. Other than that, is there anything else you ladies need to say or say before we go? No? Clear as mud? Clear as mud. Melissa, I know you and I will be talking since you and I will be in Utah, but you ladies have the best time. Please come back with so much great content that you're ready to share with us as well. And we'll kind of kick off our next call on that. We'll talk about Punta Cana, the takeaways, the aha moments that you're going to put into action. And we'll just kind of go from there. Does that sound good? Hey, ladies, thanks for jumping on today. I appreciate you. I'll talk to y'all soon, okay? You're welcome. Bye.